Hey guys, just wanted to show you this little toy I brought home. It's a 2005 TRX90. It's in really good shape. It's all there, complete. Usually the plastics are all beat up or painted or something. At least these back little heel guards are missing on all of them. This was literally in a barn. I just dragged it in here right now. When I got it, it was full of spider webs, and like literally every time I moved it, there was 4 or 5 spiders that plopped out of it. So I washed all under the fenders and everything with a hose several times and doused it with pesticide, and seems like there finally isn't anything falling out of it. So we'll see if we can get it to run. Before I do anything, I'm gonna go ahead and check to see if it has spark. Doesn't hurt to pull the spark plug and see what kind of shape it's in. Doesn't look too bad. It's pretty dark. Probably the original plug. Alright, so let's check for spark. Old school way, shove the screwdriver in the spark plug boot. Put it close to the exhaust. Give it a few pulls. Oh, it's got hot spark. Can hear it and everything. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pull off the carb. So let's go ahead and pull off the seat here. We can get this airbox open. No air filter, of course. Not a good sign. I gotta loosen that Phillips head screw there for the air boot, and it looks like there's 2 8mm on the back side of the carb there. Remove the fuel lines and it should come right out. Alrighty, so got the carb out. Actually had to cut off the lines. It looks like the inlets to the carb were completely solid. The fuel lines had nothing come out of them, but they had this like sticky junk in them. I've never seen it before. So probably gonna have to replace the fuel lines and drain out the tank, but I don't think this should be anything we can't clean up, because these 2 screws here should just let the petcock come out of here. And it looks like it's the original carb. Maybe one of you guys can tell me if it is or not. Let's go ahead and get this taken apart and cleaned up. Ooh, that's pretty grody. It's like solid chunks. See if this turns nice and smoothly, so it should be okay. See if we can get it all cleaned out. Needle seems to be kind of stuck in there. There we go. A lot of gunk on there. Not sure what kind of gas they were running, but it all turned brown and solid. It doesn't look too bad. You can actually see right through it, and the little vents on the side there. That one I can't see through. Good trick with any carb, count the number of turns till it seats, so that way when you go to put these back, you can turn them all the way in and then just turn them out that number of turns so you leave it in the same spot if it was running good previously. Alright, so that is the finished product. Everything's nice and cleaned up. Gas inlets here were completely solid. It almost looks like they put like premix into the gas tank and the oil is what dried up in there, because it was really solid. I had to use a tiny little screwdriver and some carburetor cleaner to clean it out, but turns nice and freely now, and flows like it should. I just got to get some fuel line real quick, replace the lines coming from the gas tank to the carb. I'm actually gonna double check the fuel petcock there. I cut down the line quite a bit, and it's still not coming out. So whatever it is that was in the gas is in the line completely. So I'm going to drop the petcock out of the tank real quick. I'm actually glad I checked before I took the petcock out of the bottom of the tank. There's probably a good half a tank in there. I actually end up taking the front plastics off. Otherwise, I'm just going to have gas everywhere. It looks like there's a little push pin here, a couple bolts, and it should come right out. They're actually split in two, so you can actually just remove one side of the plastics to give you easy access to everything. But as I was taking out the clips from this, for some reason the line started tinkling. So naturally I reached up there to grab the line, try to put something in it so it wouldn't leak, and there was a hair coming out of it, and this like tar substance came out of the line. I am for sure going to be dropping the tank. It must have been some crappy two-stroke oil in the light. It actually has a green tint to it. I went ahead and just removed the front plastics. Not a lot to it, just 4 clips down the center, and there's 2 bolts, one underneath the front of the fender and one right where the front of your foot would go, here and here. And let's take off the tank. Just 2 bolts right there, 2 strap pulls right out. And while I'm at it, I went ahead and removed these 2 bolts for the air box. Just got to take off this little clip for the breather here, and you can take that off and clean it as well. Surprise, surprise, when I got the fuel outlet out of the gas tank there, that the filters was completely toast. It was, I mean, I barely touched it and it fell apart. This is completely clogged up, just like the petcock on the carburetor. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this soaking in carburetor cleaner. I'm not sure if I'm just gonna replace it, but as long as I can get it clear, well, you should be able to just use this. I'm gonna have to flush out that gas tank with something though. I went ahead and flushed out as much gunk as I could with some carburetor cleaner. I should just be able to put some new fuel line on. I am gonna put a couple filters on it since there is just a little bit of gunk left in the tank. Carburetors in, new gas lines and fuel filters. Hooked up put in the air box, connected all the little vents and everything, cleaned out the inside of the air box as best I could, as well as the air filter cage, and have a new uni air filter on there. Just oiled it and have it out in the sun so the oil dries up. New spark plug, CR7 HSA, gapped and ready to go. Filter is nice and dry, it's tacky to the touch. Go ahead and put it in here, clamp it down, airbox lid here. Add a little bit of fresh 93 into the tank. Turn on the choke. And looks like we're getting fuel. Sure it's on run, keys on. A little warm. Maybe take the choke off. Never seen it walk under its own power. That's pretty cool. I didn't think it was gonna move, especially with these like completely flat tires, and I'm 200 pounds, so pretty good. Went ahead and messed with the carb a little bit, got to idle a little better. While we're at it, we might as well do an oil change. The TRX90 is just gonna be like all the other small horizontal motors behind this little protective piece on the case. It's a 17 millimeter. Just go ahead and crack that and we'll drain the oil. I had checked the oil earlier and I forgot to mention that it came out green too, so let's see what we find. Yeah, green tint to it. It's almost like they put two-stroke oil in the crankcase or something. I'm not sure why everything's green on this bike. So while that finishes up draining, tried to take the crush washer off of the drain plug. And this is crush washer should not look like. It's protruding on one side and it's dished on the other. So you tighten the hell out of this. And it's pretty thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. Have a bag of these for my Toyota vehicles. I have it just like the Z50, same drain plug. Use it on a Tundra, Tacoma. I think it same size for a Corolla too. Should squish a little bit, but that's what your drain plug should look like. Drain plug is tightened down with a new crush washer. This thing takes 0.7 quarts of oil, which I went ahead and pre-measured. Gotta grab a clean funnel. And that looks pretty good. Run it for a few seconds and double check. But we are done. Gonna go ahead and just end the video here. I've got a couple more things coming for this guy. Namely a brand new set of tires. Got some pretty burly ones coming. I didn't even know they made tread this aggressive for these little bikes. And a couple other little goodies I got on order and pick up there.